All right. Shalom. Make sure we should good. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone, and peace and blessings to all you walking Model, who pushing his word with truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. Salaki, and this is the brother Cobra Abad from the Great Millstone Houston camp, and I'll be by myself today. Salakia, the elder Tazapah, he won't be joining us today. He taking care of some things, within Babylon. As a saying Baruch, hey, we are yet this day in our captivity. Lord willing, if things don't fall out by next Thursday, Lord willing, he follow back up with his next Thursday talking about the other Tazapah. But we'll hop into it. We'll get straight to the point. Lord willing, this information do be edifying, which I'm sure a lot of it, brothers heard or sisters heard throughout the week, or probably seeing other apostles, elders, Akim touching on it. But nevertheless, it's some beautiful information and some amazing times we in. More so, why? Because we are literally seeing the word of our power play out live and direct, man, in real life time. Everything that we've been looking forward to take place is happening in our lifetime, man, and it can't be more exciting than this. Just to look to see the end of the movie play out itself, right? But we'll hop into a few things. Like I said, some of these articles may be familiar with from I can touching on it, our apostles throughout the week. Some articles it may be new, but nevertheless, Lord willing, this information do be edifying. But let's hop into it. So we got our various topics portion of the lesson, which we'll hit on a few things. You had the DNC going on, right? Which the hey, leave it up to the leaders of our people, right? The leaders of our people. But at this Democratic National Convention at DNC, which you had Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, you had the Obamas there speaking, you had niggas there, being niggas. You had Lil John, he left the East Side boys, but Lil John but it was a clown show. You had Elder Manatazak by touch on it, but it was a clown show. It was embarrassing. But that's to show the state of our people when they trust in Egypt, when they go to Egypt for help. Because now at this DNC, which it says Planned Parenthood, right, offering free abortions and vasectomies at the DNC, which again, the DNC is the Democratic National Convention, which today is the last day. But right before we started, I see Kamala Harris giving a final speech today. But nevertheless, you see what they're promoting, what they're pushing. And further on, as we get into this lesson, you're going to see the agenda that the Democratic Party, which you can say Democrat or Republic Party, as we get into this lesson, mainly in this video right here with Mike Adams and the Water to the Apostle Aram Lab for putting this video out there. But with Mike Adams, as we go get closer on, you got the Democratic Party who have plans to set up these mass education camps, or as we would know them, concentration camps or death camps. Now, and we'll get it later on in the lesson, but what they saying is that the Democrats saying the main people who not with the agenda or the new way of doing things, right? Who won't be down with getting the juice, who won't have the same belief, as the Democratic Party, they will need to be re-educated as they are going into. But my thing is, we know that's gonna happen anyway. These camps go come anyway, whether they say the Democratic Party gonna do it or Republican Party gonna do it. Remember, it's the left wing and right wing, the same eagle, the same bird. It's gonna happen regardless. You see, but the thing is, and we'll get into it. But the thing is, when they speak about these camps being set up, for example, and they use the Trump supporters, these things are not really for Trump supporters. They just being used as the scapegoat. These things are truly being set up for the prophets and the believers, man. Because other than those Trump supporters, those make America great again, those American Edomites, who else won't be down with this new system, down with getting juiced up? The believers, down with getting, tied into this digital system. So all these things are truly being planned and made to trap up the elect, which that won't happen. You see? But let's go back to this article. Just wanted to kind of mention that real quick. But let's go back to this article. And let's start with this. Let's start with this. Now, this from End Time Headlines. This from Planned Parenthood, not from Planned Parenthood, but the article is End Time Headlines, and the title says Planned Parenthood offering free abortions and vasectomies at the Democratic National Convention. And when I read this is the scripture I thought about. Second Esdras, when it says, wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. It's to the point that now it say Planned Parenthood, but in reality, we know what this is. This is a in public altar of Molech laid out in front of people's eyes, where you got a red carpet being laid out so people will go sacrifice their children, man. In public, at a convention, a Democratic convention. Either if you're a woman, you can get an abortion, or if you're a man, you can get your stuff snipped. But this is the wickedness that's allowed to go on by the rulers thereof, and that's why the Most High got to end it. That's why we're about to see a lot of these judgments come to the world, because wickedness have gone too far. I'm gonna get this real quick. Matter of fact, let's read a little bit of the article and then I'll get it. So it says Planned Parenthood is offering more than a free t-shirt or sticker at the Democratic National Convention this coming week. And again, like I said, I believe today is the last day of it. It says the organization will offer free vasectomies, medication, abortion, and emergency contraception. Come on, man. It says free. It says Planned Parenthood Great Rivers of St. Louis announced in a X post that a bus is headed to the DNC in Chicago August 19th through August 20th to offer free services. And it was an actual post. It's from Fox News. This was put out the other day. You see? So this is a modern day altar that's being laid out for Molech, for these people to just go walk up, sign their name on the list, and offer their children to Molech in broad daylight. Or for a man to snip his generation, his you see, his lineage away. But that's the type of stuff that go on when Esau, Edom is an authority. I believe it's in the book of Psalms. If a brother want to put it up, it says that the wicked walk on every side when a vilest man is exalted. And that's exactly what we're seeing. But let's continue. Just read a little more. This should show you the low levelness of this society. It says, this is what they put. Here we come, Chicago. Our mobile health clinic will be in the West Loop with Chicago Abortion Fund and the Wiener Circle, August 19th through 20th, providing free vasectomies. And see, they always get niggas with those incentives. It says in medication abortion, the post said, EC will also be available for free without an appointment. Just walk up. Just walk up and sacrifice your children. But again, going back to this precept, this is the time we're in. Second Esdras, I'm going to start at verse 4. Second Esdras 15 and 4. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. This is the reason he going to do it. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. In other words, the Most High said, I had enough. I seen enough. I had enough. And you know what? That's to tell you how far it's gotten, because the Most High see everything. And I'm sure it take a lot for him to, you know, for it to be, to be taken that far in the eyes of the Lord, for him to refer to the end of the world being exceedingly, not just polluted, but exceedingly polluted. That means a lot of BS is going on. And what happened last time? It was exceedingly wicked in the earth. The Lord told Noah, build the ark because I'm about to kill everybody. I'm about to kill everybody. You see? Come on, man. So we're in that time again, just like our Lord Yahushua, as in the days of Noah. Wickedness have gone too far, and therefore these plagues are coming. Let's continue. It says, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So it's enough. Granted, we'll see more wickedness, but it's to that point to where the law about to send judgments for these things that's going on. Now, here it is. So at the same time, now I'm not gonna really read into this. I just want to mention it. But this is another part of prophecy that can't be ignored, because we about to see this increase more as well. These riots and protests. Now, again, it's happening in the UK right now. It's happening in the UK right now because of those immigrants. And also because you have people posting things online that's anti-government, anti-immigrant, and pro riot, so on and so forth. What is this leading to? This leading to the famine of the word. This leading to the prophets being blamed for the things that we are saying. This gonna lead to Esau point a finger at us and says, look, look, these people saying this about the citizens, the immigrants, the people of the world. But in order to accuse the prophets, they need to build a case with these other people first, in order for them to pass the law that they already had planned. And again, I want to get to this video and the water again to the Apostle Ramla for mentioning this, because it's some good information that's said in here. Because it's not the point of they saying that they are planning these education camps for Trump supporters or people who don't want to, they making it seem as if they're just targeting Trump supporters, but we know it's bigger than that. It's the prophets who they want, man, and that's what prophecy say. We're gonna get to it, Lord willing. But so at this DNC convention, the Democratic convention, on one side you had this, on one side you had free abortions, and people walking in sacrificing their children to Molech, walking out with a sticker saying, "I did it," at the abortion clinic, on wheels, abortion on wheels. But on the other side, you had riots. You see, a lot of confusion going on in the world. That's what it's saying, second entrance. And there shall be also confusion in many places. Now, this says this is also from End Time Headlines, put out, I think, about 2 days ago. I don't know why they don't put the title. I think it's from August like 20th. But it says massive anti-Israel protest being executed at the Democratic National Convention. Now, it's beautiful because this rolls into exactly what's going on. You have some of these Palestinians, they could use their situation and liken it to the immigrants. Them not being wanted or targeted or against the Israelis. But again, we ain't gonna really read into this. Let me see if we got something good. I just wanted to kind of mention it. Let's read a little bit. So it says, do you remember what happened when the Democrats held their convention in Chicago in 1968? The Democrats are really hoping to avoid a repeat of what we witnessed 56 years ago. And Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson insists that law enforcement authorities in his city are ready. So it says, we shall see tens of thousands of protesters from 264 different radical protest groups. And this is my thing, how they got a specific number, what the groups had to sign up. And after everybody signed up, all right, we got 264 as they entered the riot. It says tens of thousands of protesters from 264 different radical protest groups have descended upon Chicago, and the war in the Middle East is what they are upset about more than anything else. And still, you got Benjamin Netanyahu still talking his talk against Iran, um, in these what as they would call it, the axis of resistance, with Hezbollah, the Houthis, so on and so forth. So a lot going on with that. I just wanted to mention this, this World War III information as well. Keep an eye, on what's going on with the Middle East, but also these riots that's about to take place in America. It's already happening across the world. You see, it's already happening across the world. Let me see if a brother put that Psalms 12. Okay, Daniela put it. It says Psalms 12 and 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. The brother put Leviticus 18 and 21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy power. I am Yahweh. And again, back then they actually brought their children to Molech. And look, Molech, the statue had his hands out. His hands out. Nowadays, they just pull up in a bus. You walk up to it. But nevertheless, that was pretty much it on that. Let's hit this last article going into the digital currency, and I think this is it for the various topics portion of Shalom Tala Akim Akwath who tuning in Yahweh Bashim Al Shabrakatham. But let's hit this real quick. Now I seen a brother, I forget the brother, but a brother either he posted the clip like as far as like a screenshot of this, or he did a lesson on it, and I seen a wallpaper. I don't remember, but nevertheless, as we see every day, we are moving closer to a digital society being established. Not just in America or in China, but everybody is leaning towards a digital currency, man. Why? Because it's prophecy. According to Revelation, let's get there real quick. What that is. Revelation 3. This is something that got to come upon all the world to try everybody that dwell upon the earth. So no matter if you try to flee America, guess what? Another country, they will be dealing with the same thing, going digital. Let's get this real quick. It's Revelation 3 and 10. It says, this Yahweh Shai speaking, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. So if we keep, in other words, believing, right, fighting through the suffering, through Jacob's trouble, whatever we got to go through, whatever the Lord put us through, if we keep believing, the Lord says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And that's when everybody get tried, whether they're going to take that MOTB or not. Now, it ain't just saying you're going to have to schedule an hour within a day and, well, mine, this day, what's yours? No, this is when all hell breaking loose and everybody at their wits end, and each person gonna realize they're gonna need help from somewhere. And whether that help gonna come from the Heavenly Father, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, or the government. The thing is, if you go get help from the government, yeah, they got a little cot you can sleep on. Yeah, they got some water and food, an MRE pack, and somewhere for your children to lay. But in order to get that, you got to get that MOTB. And that's the time we coming in. Everybody going this way. All nations are going this way. Revelation 13, he calls of all. But right here it says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world. That's the point. All the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. So that's why we've been seeing more articles like this, how more countries are adopting a new system, leaving the old one behind and going digital. Now, this is from naturalnews.com. This was put out 2 days ago, August 20th. It says, bye-bye petrodollar. 159 countries now slated to adopt the new BRICS payment system. Now, I just typed it in because it said 159 countries. Now, I typed in how many countries in the world. Now, it says it's 195 recognized countries in the world. You see? So now let's do the math. What that is 195, 36. So about 36. And mind you, this is just BRICS with Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And you got other nations who just joined in, the likes of Saudi Arabia, so on and so forth, the UAE. But 159 just trying to join BRICS. So the other 36, they may be doing their own thing. The point is, the whole world is going digital. It says bye-bye petrodollar. 159 countries slated to adopt new BRICS payment system. And you know what else this means? That means something got to happen soon, because every time in history, when nations wanted to pull away from that dollar, or when it was losing power on the earth, they faked an attack. You see? A false flag or something happened, 9/11 or something like that happened to put a halt to the world and a stop to everything. Well, guess what time we're in? All nations stepping away from this dollar. America gonna have to force something, man. And we're gonna get into it because next we're gonna see Klaus Schwab. He said we entering into an era of shock events, surprise events, random things are about to take place. See? But let's finish reading this. So it says 159 countries now slated to adopt the new BRICS payment system. Let's read a little bit. As soon as blow it up. As soon as October, Russia's long-awaited international BRICS payment system will be ready to go. Man, there's so much going on in these next couple of months. 2024 about to end off on fire, and 2025 gonna begin on Lord willing, on fire. But on fire, a lot is about to happen in these last couple months. As we've been paying attention. They said September you have in Sudan, it could be over 2 million people who gonna die because of starvation. Then they also saying in November you got the elections. Well, right? I believe it's November. Let's see, election, if I'm not mistaken. November, let's get the date real quick. But you got the elections. And think about all the different things that's going to happen leading up to the elections. If November 5th, if there is an election, it might not be. It might be a state of emergency that's going to cancel it. And we're going to get a video of Klaus Schwab saying that's a possibility. That's a possibility. So we're in exciting times. So let's read a little bit of this article right here. So this says, as soon as October, right then this is gonna happen in October. It says Russia's long-awaited international BRICS payment system will be ready to go, with some 159 countries said to be in the process of ditching the US dollar as their official settlement currency. It says for several years, Russia and other BRICS member nations have been working on an alternative to the Western controlled SWIFT international settlement system. Russia was banned from SWIFT following its invasion of Ukraine, but now there is a new system emerging from BRICS that threatens to make the SWIFT obsolete. Now it says if the new payment system is a success, so if this thing go through, it will render the Federal Reserve Notes, or FRNs, obsolete as well. The money phones niggas holding to their ears, them FRNs, them notes, them pieces of paper that people believe in America, it's obsolete already, but it's just the belief that these people got, the spending power of it. But once these nations, especially like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, fully attach themselves from the dollar and their oil, things gonna really pop off. Think about what's gonna happen to the citizens in America. Prices gonna go up on everything. Life gonna get harder. Man, It says if the new payment system is a success, it will render Federal Reserve notes or FRNs obsolete as well. The world will no longer be held hostage by the so-called petrodollar, which reports warn could have massive global market ramifications. It's gonna shake something up, man. So it's a lot happening in these next couple months, and Lord willing, as the Lord will have it, we're in a loop. Bring some of these things to the light. Let's see if we got something else in here. If not, we'll move on. Nah, not it's just not nothing really, but it's going digital. Let's read this. It says, depending on how well it works, there is also a solid chance that more countries will want to ditch the US dollar and join themselves. Time will tell how quickly the world will transition away from the US dollar dominance into a new era of dollar-less global trade. Which this, in a way, roll into Psalms 2. Why do the heathen rage and they imagine a vain thing? Because they truly are in their mind thinking that once they step away from the dollar, it will be a new world, a new digital world, and they fighting to see who gonna be the new leaders of it. No, that's pretty much it on that, I believe. Matter of fact, let me throw these. I'm gonna start throwing the articles as we read them in the chat as we go along. We used to do. We gonna move on. We gonna hit this Klaus Schwab article real quick, and I'm gonna play this video. Should we hit this? Okay. Matter of fact, I wanna hit this article as well. Now, seeing that all countries are on the verge of going digital, this is something else that we're gonna start to see even more. That even things like the ATMs, they're gonna be transformed to be compatible with the new infrastructure that's gonna be laid out for this digital system. So, in other words, it ain't gonna be the old way of, and we already seen it. You have certain vending machines. That's the word I'm looking for. Vending machines to where you don't go up and put dollar bills or coins in it no more. They want you to either swipe your card or just press your card, tap your card on there, and then you get your stuff. Well, now they're about to take it to the next level and go to the ATMs. See, these are little gradual steps of, and he calls of all. Again, he don't have to cause people by putting a gun to your head and say, take this MOTB. Let me take this now. Take this MOTB. No, he don't have to cause people like that. He gonna cause you by forcing you to bow down to him. No matter where you go in the system, everybody, no matter what store, business, healthcare, right? Bank, food, grocery store, everybody will be conformed to the new society. And if one person don't got a digital ID, if one person don't got his digital health report, a good social credit score, or his his points added up in his account, you gonna be cast out of society. And we seeing the system slowly being put into place while they putting stuff like, again, the DNC convention on TV, showing you that Lil Jon performing in the East Side Boys. Right? They tell you, no allows in the Olympics and stuff like this, but they setting this system up around you, man. So let's read a little bit of this article right here, and we'll go into this next information. So it says naturalnews.com. This was put out yesterday, August 21st. It says new ATM technology is coming that will enforce. Let's look up that word, enforce. He calls of all. It says enforce, to compel observance of a compliance with a law, rule, or obligation. And he calls of all. It says new ATM technology is coming that will enforce the juice compliance. You know what juice is? the juice compliance before you are allowed to access bank deposits. And it's not far-fetched. Remember, they already doing this in China. We're gonna play a little video that they got for us right here. And this video ain't in China. I think it's in California. We're gonna read it. They might say it. Oh, Virginia. Yup, it's in Virginia. So it says a couple at the University of Virginia filmed, so this in America, filmed a new UVA Community Credit Union automated teller machine that they claim will soon require users to submit proof of the juice status in order to use. So you got to have an updated, you got to have all your juice shots in order to use it. Now, I don't know if this picture, I'm not saying this picture, this is probably just a picture that they got for the article. So I'm not saying it's them, but what's some of these things that they're going to require? Right here, they just saying that the juice, but I'm sure the digital ID eventually. And also you're going to have to be on with the new digital system as far as financing. Now, I don't know how they're going to do it. They may start with a little FedNow account. Each American got to get the FedNow account. They're going to send you a digital stimulus check on a FedNow debit card. Who knows how it's going to be? But a lot of these digital things will be required to get access in society. It says manufactured by South Korean industrial conglomerate Hyosung. The ATM look like most others, but the couple identified components of it that they say point to the coming implementation of a juice, of juice as a prerequisite of accessing bank services. So I'm gonna just play the video. Now check out what they're gonna say. It says, as the man is explaining that he believes the ID scanner and palm scanner are for possible microchips. Let's read that one more time. As the man is explaining that he believes the ID scanner and palm scanner are for possible microchips to be associated with the juice cards, your updated juice status. And look, that's another thing. They're rolling that back around again. The juices. I gotta find another word, Well, the juices, because they're saying these new sicknesses is gonna be another global health emergency and lockdowns. They also talking about shots again, man. At the same time, they having talks of a digital ID. Perfect timing. It says the woman is heard in the background emphasizing that she and the men are trying to warn everybody. And that's the thing. People go try to warn once they see it. The prophets, the Lord been having us warn before this stuff was even put into place. But let's play it though. Let me turn up the volume on this. And again, to anybody tuning in, Elder Taza Pie, he ain't with us tonight. But Lord willing, he'll be back next week. Let's play this though real quick.
Okay, so here we have the new ATMs here at the UVA Credit Union in Berkmar, Charlottesville, Virginia. Looks like they're made by Hyosung, but the thing that looks kind of like the buildings there in Wuhan, China. This looks like a bar to possibly scan your license plate or your vehicle. Down here we have ID card scan, I assume for vaccination.
You see that over there, huh?
Cards.
Hold on.
Over here we have a palm vein scan.
Look at that palm reader. Put that palm up. Put that palm up. And look, they're trying to put at the bottom Revelation 13, 16, and 17. No, and see, not everybody want to be prophets. Not everybody want to talk about the Bible and Bible prophecy. Ain't Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck. What you reading Esdras for? I thought the Apocrypha wasn't canon. Come on, man. You gonna have we gonna play Mike here later on from Brighteon. Now he cool and all, which I believe he may be an Edomite. Who knows? But even him, now he want to bring out precepts. What you bringing out precepts? Now he a Christian though, but Everybody want to speak the tune of the Bible. Why? Because it's happening. No other book is alive and speaking right now. No other book can tell us, the people in this society, in this current age, what's about to happen in live time. It already told us what happened in the past. That's why secular history lined up with the Bible. It named names: Alexander the Great, Xerxes, so on and so forth. It give times, dates, seasons. You see? And it tells us what's going to happen in the future. The point is, what other book, as we live in now, could tell us what's happening now, as if it was? Now, we know it's alive, but I'm saying as if it was actually alive, which we know is actually alive. But this book is alive and speaking, because these things are truly playing out. Let's get Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, real quick. Let's get that real quick. We can get a precept in a minute. It's Habakkuk. It's Habakkuk chapter 2. And we're going to start, we're going to just hit 1 through 3. We're going to hit it quick. And we're going to get back to this information. And I'll wind it down in a few if the Lord said the same. This Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And what's the vision? These prophecies. It's the point. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. That's the point. This Bible is speaking, because look, we at that appointed time. For example, you got in 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter, the Lord had came to Esdras, and he said, look, when you hear these things, don't be afraid. He said, because all these things are set to happen in the end. The point is, we in the end, and it's playing out. And how's it playing out? The Lord is giving tangible proof now. We have articles showing what the elites got coming. What's the plans? The steps that's taken that's going to lead to the MOTB being mandated. It's speaking. World War III, we seeing how these nations are hating America. Israel, the least of the flock, drawing America into war. We literally seeing these things happen. Esau being exposed. Come on, man. America falling. These people bugging out. Come on, man. It says for the vision is yet, it gets you excited. It says for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. You see? So these things are coming. We ain't just going to be looking at them on articles forever. These things are right here. Matter of fact, I'm going to get it just because. It's Revelation 13. Just to push that energy out there. The Apostle Hall said, push that energy out there. It's Revelation 13. Get straight to the point. In verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And ultimately, we're in a time to where all these nations are going to be forced to change their system into the new world order system. And whoever don't want to get down going to be either literally killed or cast out of society. And it says, verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich. And again, when we read this cause, that don't mean he got to force us. Now, some people may have to go under a guillotine or take the sea help. But cause how? He gonna set up a society around you to where you can't go nowhere. Everything will be on the same system, digital, connected, the Internet of Things. Well, the Apostle Ramla, he did a video yesterday and today going into some information. But the Internet of Things, man, IOB, Internet of Bodies. And if a person not connected to it, guess what? It's over. They even put it on the movies, the end time Christian, Mark of the Beast, movies. If you ain't got, if they don't have a 666 written on their forehead, she can't get health care. Right? That's going to be true. That's the system he's setting up around people. It says, and he calls of all, and that he is the so-called white man, Esau Edom. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that mark is charagma, right? Something that's going to be put into an individual. And that's that digital grain of rice, what people know as the RFID micro C-HIP. And it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, had that C-HIP, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, right? Now, again, we see these ATMs coming. These type of things are coming. Let's read this real quick, and we can move on, because I do want to play this video because it's some good information that Mike gonna speak on in this video. So seeing this ATM, right? It says beast banking system on the way. What we just read. Mark of the who? The beast, the system, right? It says you will notice that the entire video bears the word beast banking system getting ready as its descriptor. The idea being that this new ATM at UVA is designed to accommodate the eventual rollout of an entirely new financial system. Because you think this is the only one in America they got on the University of Virginia campus. This is the only ATMs like that. And outside of ATMs, this is the only new thing they got for the system. The infrastructure, ATMs. No, they got a lot of other stuff they putting in place. It says, if you do not know, and you know how it's so subtle that people don't even notice it. Once upon a time, even before you put your card when you went to a store, before they had the card readers, people put dollars and coins. They gave it to a cashier. Then eventually the cards came. You had to swipe, right? Swipe your card with the black strip. Then eventually the black strip got old. That was lame. And now it upgraded to you got the black strip and you got the chip in it. So if the strip ain't working, hit it with the chip. And what they'll tell you, put your chip in. Because remember at first you'll do the strip and they'll say no, flip it and put the chip in. Then the chip will work. And people started just forgetting about the strip and started putting the chip in when they went to the stores. Now, even if you notice, see how subtle, even if you notice, the chip taking too long. The chip getting lame, so to speak, now. Now it's just tap it on there, hold it on there for like 3 seconds and see them 3 beeps, beep, beep, you good. It's nobody even putting a chip in no more. People, just that fast, people stop swiping and stop, then the chip, now people stop the chip. Now people just holding the Apple Pay, their phones or their credit or debit card over the reader. What is this all leading to? Gradualism to they're going to stop just holding a card over the reader to holding a hand over the reader, man. These little subtle things. And it don't just have to be, you know what, because Esau, and I'm going to read this article, just getting off thoughts. Esau do things in gradualism so people can get used to it, to where when his final move, the far-fetched one, people already kind of walking in a direction. So when he bring a false flag or an emergency, the fear of the people and them already practicing the steps, the fear go allow them to agree with whatever the final stage is, to give up their freedom. They're going to be okay with it. A lot of people going to be okay with getting this C-HIP because time's going to be that hard, man. It might not seem like people going to get it now. They're going to say, well, I ain't getting that. Time's easy now. When things change, it's going to get serious. And you know how serious it is? I like to think of Yahushua when this man knew everything that was going to happen to him. He told his disciples many times, but the day it came down to it, he said, Father, is it another way? Not saying he ain't want to be the sacrifice, but he still was willing, but he didn't really want to get beat and all that. The point was this man, Yahushua knew the whole time, but when it came down to it, it was still like, man, now this is the Lord. You see, this is the Lord. How much more us? Things gonna get for real in the world. That's why the best we can do is just trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So let's finish this. It says, and so what they're gonna do is they're going to require mandatory juices for all Americans and all of your children. And if you do not, comply with them, they're not going to allow you to have access to your money. They will take your children and you will not have any kind of benefits, but they will give you the option to opt out, to give you free will to make your own choice, as they will make it seem. Let's read a little more. It says this same scary sounding type of thing is already coming to Australia, which is reportedly rolling out a new voluntary digital identification program this upcoming December. Now they always say voluntary. Just like once upon a time when the CV happened, putting on a mask was voluntary, right? 6 feet apart, things like that was voluntary until it became mandatory. So it says soon to arrive in the United States as well, according to speculation. Let me see if there's any more on this that may be good. I know somewhere I mentioned the RFID C-Hub or something. Now check this out. And why everybody talking about the Bible? Here it is. We're gonna read that. It says the group Texans Take Action defending our rights and liberty was not so sure the claims made in the above video were accurate, since it remains unknown if the ID scanner is really for juice cards and if the palm reader is really for the C-Hub. And again, they always got to have somebody to say, a fact checker, to throw in doubt. But we know what the prophecies say. But it says, this is the point, it's setting up for some end times biblical prophecy to start being fulfilled. What biblical prophecy? It's going to lead to the MOTB. And again, why is everybody talking about the Bible? Why nobody talking about the Quran, bringing up the book of the dead and what it say for end time prophecy? Because no other book is alive and speaking. See? But let's move on. I'm going to put this in the chat. Let's get to our man Klaus Schwab. Hey, Shalom Akim, Yahbashim Shabakatham. Let's get to Klaus Schwab. Now, I was first seeing this from the brother Taz out there in Dallas. He did a lesson on it. I think Monday or Tuesday, maybe. One of those days, but this article dropped August 19th, so he had to do it Monday. His page, GMS Soldier of Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shai. But the brother went into a lesson, and again, everything that we reading right here is expected. Not just because the elite saying it, but prophecy speaks the same things. Let's read a little. Well, we're going to read this whole thing as a short read. Look, we're going to read this article, and I'm going to play this video, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Now, let's go ahead and read it. It says, so this is from the People's Voice. Now, this was put out August 19th, 2024. The title says, Klaus Schwab says era of shock events is coming ahead of the 2024 election. Now, you already had one guy say it was a season of Black Swan events. Now, you got one saying we're in a season of Black Swan events. Also, you had Klaus Schwab say, I think last year it was going to be a poly crisis, which is many things happening at once. Now he's saying it's an era of shock events. Let's look at that word shock real quick. Quick Google definition. It says shock, right? See what type of events coming. And I'm honest, he said ahead of the 2024 election. This is what, a month or two away? It says shock, a sudden, upsetting, or surprising event or experience. Yep, cause someone to feel surprised and upset. Traumatized, a similar word. Disturbance, right? Uncomfortable times coming. So let's read a little bit of it. And I'll play this video. So it says Klaus Schwab says era of shock events is coming ahead of the 2024 elections. If it's going to be ahead of the 2024 elections and we a month or two away, guess what? An event can happen tomorrow. Remember when 9/11 came, granted I was a child, but when 9/11 came, nobody knew the day before. Nobody knew that morning. Ain't nobody get an Amber Alert or a notification. People ain't calling and take a PTO and say, yeah, I'm gonna just take off tomorrow because I heard the plane's gonna hit, so I'm gonna just take off tomorrow. All right, we're gonna put you on the list. All right, then I'm gonna see you when I see you. Nobody knew. It just happened. It just happened and changed. It changed. Granted, it happened in New York, but it changed the world. Correct? It happened though, and nobody expected it. These are the times we're in. Even Yahweh Shah, well, not Yahweh Shah, but the scriptures say, well, Yahweh Shah did say that the times we're in is going to be like a woman in travail. When a woman giving birth, when she had those contractions, those pains, guess what? She don't decide when the pains come. She don't tell a doctor, yeah, I'm going to get one in 5 minutes, but I'm going to schedule my next one at 8:30. No, they come when they come. And they stay how long they going to stay, and they hurt however much they going to hurt. Well, that's a shock event, and we in that time. Let's see what Klaus got to say. Because remember, he a prophet on the left hand. It says Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum, the WEF, just warned an era of shock events, an era of them, is coming ahead of the 2024 elections, the 2024 U.S. elections, as the global elites prepare to unleash chaos in society. Come on. It's put a smile on my face, though. It says, in a dystopian article, the WEF warns that citizens heading to the polls in November should be expecting destabilizing events, including a cyber pandemic. And we already been, brothers, apostles, been prophesying about that. The light's going out. And why we so confident in that? The Lord said in 2nd Ezra 15 that he was going to bring plagues on this new Egypt as before on the old Egypt. And what was one of the plagues? Darkness. Now, the modern day darkness, we're going to say a cyber attack, an EMP attack. But that's one of these things we can expect. And mind you, he said before the election. It says, which is intentional. The emergence of a new global extremist group. 80. That's another thing that's been in the news. These terrorist groups rising up, right, against those immigrants. Look what's going on in the UK. So see how they setting stuff up? Remember the George Floyd chaos? All they need is another knee in a nigga neck, and the world gonna riot. It says, and fast-tracked climate change disasters, including a sudden sea level rise that will submerge an island nation. And also to add, look at all these sicknesses. So who knows if it's going to be another endemic lockdowns, just to throw that in there. So it says the globalist elite are desperate for elections in 2024 to go their way as they continue attempting to evade prosecution for crimes against humanity perpetrated in the post-pandemic era. In this context, it is no surprise the WEF is warning us to look for global risks to be further exacerbated by unexpected, destabilizing shock events. I want to get a precept. Real quick. Let's see if brothers got something on the comment board. Okay, I see the Elder Taza Pound now. Get what he got real quick. And the Elder Hawaii Shalom. Let me get what y'all got real quick. This Elder Taza Pa, GMS that will be done. Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16. It says, seek ye out of the book of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, and read. And none of these shall fail. First and foremost, what's the book of the Lord? Granted, there's many books in the world, but the book of the Lord is the Bible, the Holy Bible. The Holy Bible. This is the only book that was written ages ago by men who was told through the through the spirit by the higher power what was going to happen in the last days and in between times and in the meantime. No other book is going to say that. No other book can tell us that. But that's why we got to seek out the book of the Lord. The Bible says, and read, none of these shall fail. And what's the these? The prophecies. The Lord always going to be good on his word. What happened then came to pass. Now we got it as secular history. And we clearly seeing what's supposed to happen in end times is playing out in our time. And we can be sure about the things that's going to take place 100 to 200, not sure as far as if we know, I mean, that we know in detail, but 500 years from now, guess what? The Israelites could be ruling in the kingdom of heaven. So we know things that's going to go on in the future, so on and so forth. But this is the only book that let us know these things, man. And it says, and none shall want her mate. And no other book can be likened unto the Bible. You can't go to I was about to say the Quran, which you got, a verse in the Quran that say, the Israelites are, the Lord's chosen people. But for example, you can't go in the Quran and say, see, this verse in the Quran say the same thing about the MOTB as the Bible. No, that's not, it ain't gonna say the same thing. You can't go to the Egyptian Book of the Dead and find the same prophecies that the Bible say and bring our precepts together. But it says, for my mouth it have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered them. Elder Hawad, Isaiah 42:9, it says, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. And what's one of those things that haven't been declared yet? A new thing in the earth, the MOTB. That's one of the main new things. You know what? A lot of people can't get it. I remember Nyquam from WFI. This one is YouTube page was Adam Abbott. But I remember he made the point pretty much saying that the MOTB can't be the RFID CHIP because no other prophet spoke about a CHIP that can be charagma as John did in Revelation. In other words, he's saying no other prophet had a vision of a chip. If y'all trying to say John had a vision, right? The point is, it's a new thing. It's a new thing. John got it in his time. He was the only one that got it because it's supposed to happen in our time. It's a new thing, a new invention. And now the Lord got the prophets declaring it. It says, before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Right? Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war, of evil, and of pestilence. And that's the job of a prophet, going to be speaking about these things, not marriage and nothing. Because when you go into that chapter, Jeremiah 28, you had this prophet, Hananiah, who was trying to tell Jeremiah that good was going to come to Israel. And the Lord was going to stop Nebuchadnezzar from ruling. Well, Jeremiah said, look, the prophets that's been before me and you always prophesied against evil, war, pestilence. So that's our job here today. These things are coming. It's not no good. What he said in Ecclesiastes, when you look out the window, it's going to be dark, and there's nothing good coming to this society. 2 Timothy 3:1, and we're going to play this video. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Let's look up that word perilous. Dangerous times. We're in dangerous times. And I want to still get that precept too in 2 Ezra 14, and we're going to move on. Perilous, full of danger or risk, exposed to imminent risk of disaster or ruin. Or in other words, like Klaus Schwab said, an era of shock events. Let's get this real quick. Right, Elder Tazapah said only John was given a little book. That's a new thing. He got a new thing. And that's why a lot of people can't get it now, because what we bringing out, you can't just go into the scriptures and go in Leviticus and pull out a MOTB scripture of a RFID CHIP. No, there's a new thing. That's why people can't get it. Just like when Yahushua came on the scene. What he came, how he came, this message, that was a new thing in Israel. To say, no, it ain't about the law, it's about me. Well, not me, but him, Yahushua. Think about him saying that. A young man telling these elder scribes and wicked scribes and Pharisees and all them, that was a new thing, but it was true. He was true. He was right. Just because they had proof, but as far as tangible proof, that's why they kept asking, man, what proof you got that you doing all this and saying all this? What authority? But the MOTB is likened unto that. It's a new thing. Let's get this in 2nd Ezra 14. That's why a lot of these people go get caught off guard. But let's get this real quick, because Klaus Schwab said we're in an era of shock events. And a lot of things going to happen. And when the time is going to get worse as the days go on, real quick. Now, this is an angel telling Esdras that he was almost at the end of the world, which he was around, what, 440-something, 420-something BC? Around 400 years before Yahushua was even born. And he was told he was in a 10.5 part, because the angel said, look, it's 12 parts in world history. And you, Esdras, in a 10.5 part. Here's the thing. If Esdras was in a 10.5 part, and he was 400 years before Yahushua was even born, we gotta be at the end of the last part. So what Esdras was told right here, this stands for us even more, because we at the end of the very end of the world, man. So I'm gonna start at verse. I'm gonna just start at let's see. I'm gonna start at 11. It's 2nd Ezra 14 and 11 in the GNT. And I'm gonna just read it down. And it's going into those shock events coming. We're going to read down to 17. It says, and it's in the GNT, the whole history of the world is divided into 12 periods. And the 10th period has already arrived. And it is half over. Only 2.5 parts remain. You see? So Esdras, he was in a 10.5. It says, so set your house in order. So this is what's being told to us before the end come. Speaking of myself first and foremost, so set your house in order. Start with us as the individual, Then, yeah, if we do got a wife, or a wife or wives for some brothers, some brothers demand like that. But, for a wife or children, make sure they're in order too, to the best of their ability if they believe. But it says, so, hey, and shit, making sure things right, even in our, within our church. But it says, so set your house in order, warn your people, and comfort those who are humble, and teach those who are wise. Then say goodbye to this mortal life, put earthly cares away from you, throw down your human burdens, and lay aside your weak human nature. It's saying a lot and it's heavy, but we're going to read through it. In other words, man, forget this world. Remember Lot's wife. Don't let nothing keep us back. Like it said about Moses, he let everything go in Egypt because he knew it was coming to an end anyway. So it says, verse 15, put all your anxieties aside and get ready to leave this world quickly. It's the point. You have seen many evil things already, but far worse things are about to happen. Why? Because we enter into an era of shock events. Far worse things are about to happen. It says you have seen many evil things already, but far worse things are about to happen. As the world grows older and weaker, the evils that will come upon its people will multiply. An era of shock events. And watch what they gonna say this is gonna lead to. So let's go back and I'll read a little bit of this article, and I do want to get to this video. It says, what are the global elites planning? Perhaps the most concerning line in the article is in reference to the intentional cybersecurity attacks given Klaus Schwab. And now, mind you, before we play this, before we keep reading, he said ahead of the 2024 elections. Now, next, I'm going to play this video. I'm going to just play it now. I'm about to play this video. This from like 4 years ago. Klaus Schwab again at a forum. He was saying that we're going to get so advanced with this technology, we ain't even going to need elections. Now, could he been prophesying on the left hand, knowing an event going to take place that's going to derail the elections? Let's see what he going to say real quick. Let me just make sure it's playing. Okay. Let's see what he going to say. It's just 39. Now, it got a full video. I had the full video. It's about 17 minutes, but just this is just a clip. If you want to get the full video, just type in Google founder Sergey Brin and Klaus Schwab interview, and it should pull up. It's about 17 minutes, but this is just a clip from it. Check out what he gonna say. Now the title says "No More Elections." One more time. No, Salaki, I'm screaming in y'all ear, but no more elections. Klaus Schwab of the WEF explains the future to the Google founder, Sergey Brin. Let's see what he got to say. Check out what he going to say.
The technology now is digital tech. The technology now is digital technologies mainly have an analytical power. Now we go into a predictive power, and we have seen the first.
I ain't gonna stop it. Predictive power. What that is? Isaiah 10 and 1. If a brother want to post that, the things that they got already planned, prescribed. Let's play it back. I ain't gonna stop it anymore. Predictive. They know what's gonna come.
The technology now is, digital technologies mainly have an analytical power. Now we go into a predictive power, and we have seen the first examples, and your company very much involved into it. But then the next step could be to go into a prescriptive mode, which means you do not even have to have elections anymore, because you can already predict, and afterwards you can say, why do we need elections? Because we know what the result will be.
Hey, you know that he knows something that the people don't know, because even like Bill Gates, they start smirking and smiling and stuff. You know, when they talk about their little schemes, they put that little smirk on. Like Bill Gates and his wife, when they said, yeah, when he was asked about the CV, he said, yeah, that one got him, but this next one is really going to get him. And him and his wife looked at each other and smirked, right? Because they know something that people don't know. But he ain't just say predictive, he also said prescriptive. I'm gonna see what brother got there. Isaiah 10. He said prescriptive. Right, Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they have prescribed. And we gon' man, this is beautiful, because this gonna lead right into this video with on Bradian for these education camps, because they saying that Trump supporters need to be put in education camps, right? Those who don't want to be juiced up, that's the type of people that we need to put in educational camps. This is the thing. They're using Trump supporters, MAGA supporters, anti-juicers as an excuse to pass a law, because at the end of the day, who they really want to come after, who they really want to shut up and silence, the prophets. They can't just come out and say the Hebrew Israelites, or the black Hebrew Israelites, as they would call us, and say that no, they need to use somebody else. And look, they'll use their own people, a white group, Edomites, Trump supporters. Paint the picture and say, look, we need to, like they're doing in the UK, bring in free speech. We need to silence free speech. You can't just say anything about immigrants. You can't just say anything about the government. So they having these things gradually being put into play, ultimately, so if it get worse with the groups they set up, they can pass a law to now, if you say anything, you can actually go to jail, which is going on right now in the UK. But again, that's not happening for Trump supporters. That's happening for the prophets. And I want to get a precept, not right now, but when we play this video, for an example of that, because that happened to our forefather Daniel, man. When a governing body of Babylon wanted to come after Daniel, they passed a law for the whole province. Everybody was under the law, but it was really just for one person, a prophet. But the whole province had to be under it. They had to use that to target one man. We seeing the same thing play out. They're using Trump supporters and all this to bring forth a silence on free speech. You know, you be in jail for your opinion. Anti-government opinion, you can be jailed for that. This all being set up for the prophets, man. What the scriptures say, we not ignorant of Satan's devices? Let's play this again, though. Well, let's read that again. Isaiah 10:1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. That mean before. Scribe, they wrote it down. Before they passed laws, they already thought of it. Okay, we can pass this to better help ourselves. And it's the thing. If it don't organically happen, which in Esau's system, things don't just organically happen. He forced them. So therefore, he created a group, have them go out, do some crazy thing. He passed a law that he already had planned. That's it. And I read verse 2. It says, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people. Man. And look, that's the things that he prescribing. To turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. 2 Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. It's clear to see, right? I see the brother. We're going to get one more one. I'm going to finish. The brother Yakana put Isaiah 30. 1 and 2. Let's get that real quick for the bro. I want to play this video, man. Again, the water to the Apostle Aram Lab. He spoke on it yesterday in his lesson. As soon as he spoke on it, he said, look, the video on my link, hit that link. Isaiah 30:1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And again, we just seen a DNC convention. These are people who going to Egypt and taking a covering of America, and then in things you support outside of it, you got free abortion, I would say clinics, but people was getting children aborted on a bus. Vasectomies on a bus. I don't know how many rooms, curtains, but the thing is, they said all the slots was filled. Come on, man. Again, this is in broad daylight, people offering their children to Molech. Broad daylight. Back then, Molech had his hands sticking out, and you put that, no, you walking up to him on a bus. Come on, man. Anyway. But let me read two. That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. And a lot of our people trust in this government, you know, so focused on voting and making this society better, not understanding it's going down. And look, they're going to fall right with it. They're going to fall right with it. But let's play this one more time. Because Klaus Schwab, matter of fact, let's read his article because it mentioned the MOTB. But Klaus Schwab, he even said years ago, it might not be no elections because we prescribe these things. We know what's going to happen already. And now he coming out and says it's going to be shock events before the elections. I mind you, again, years ago, he said it might not be elections. Now he's saying it's going to be shock events before the elections. What that's kind of saying? This is what he was talking about, the events that they prescribed. And what's some of them? Cyber pandemic, a new global extremist group, right? The climate change with the different weather patterns and the hurricanes. Also, we could add the sicknesses. They might have another lockdown. So let's see what they got to say. So, right, that's the stuff they talked about. Now, mind you, look, this is screenshots from their website. They telling you what's coming. World Economic Forum. They telling you what's coming. 1, global extremist group. 2, the cyber pandemic. Now I'm going to jump down. I'm going to read this last little bit and we're going to move on. I got to read this. Anything that say the CBDC, as the Apostle Hall said, we got to push that vibration. It says the WEF also claimed that we are living in an opportunistic time for a global extremist group. And how they know this? Because they the ones planning it. For a global extremist group to emerge and wreak havoc around the world without suffering many consequences. Meanwhile, it sounds like the climate crisis will be leveraged by the global elite to further their agenda. Now, check this out. And central bank digital currency, CBDC, and digital ID payment systems are also on the agenda. So after they wreak havoc in the system and it be emergency 9/11 type events, guess what's coming next? Central bank digital currency and digital ID payment systems are also on the agenda. According to Schwab and the WEF, who warned this will result in the global south moving away from trading in the US dollar, even attempting a new blockchain payment system. And we was reading that earlier. Look, come man, see, man, everything is playing out. I ain't even really read this article through. I was reading it with y'all, and that's the end of it. But right, this playing out. Let's read that again. It says the WF who warned this will result in the global south moving away from trading in the US dollar, even attempting a new blockchain payment system. This article said that all nations moving away from the dollar. Let's read this one more time. 159 countries adopting a new brick system, and that is 195 countries. So that's 36 that ain't. Now, just because it ain't BRICS don't mean it ain't doing their own thing. But look what it say. If the new payment system is a success, it will render the Federal Reserve Notes, FRNs, obsolete. The world will no longer be held hostage by the so-called petrodollar, which report warned could have massive global market ramifications. So that's the same thing Klaus Schwab saying. And he's saying this could happen before the elections. So look out for that. Now let's get to this video. Let's get to this video because, I forgot who I listened to. First, let's play this again since he said no more elections. And he already predicted the things that's going to happen before. But we'll watch and see if they actually happen.
The technology now is, and digital technologies mainly have an analytical power. Now we go into a predictive power, and we have seen the first examples, and your company very much involved into it. But then the next step could be to go into a prescriptive mode, which means you do not even have to have elections anymore because you can already predict, and afterwards you can say, why do we need elections? Because we know what the result will be.
Right. Because at the end of the day, right wing or left wing, the same thing's gonna happen anyway. This still Esau still going to move towards his NWO. So they don't. The elections just for these people in this society, just to keep them thinking they got a voice. My vote matter type niggas. You know, I voted, vote or die. Man, that's just to keep you into the system. These elites, they ain't worried about no voting. They plan. The Lord plan still gonna go forth, but he got it in these elites' mind that they plan still gonna go forth. The point is, we don't need no election in order for these things still to happen, is what he's saying. Right? We don't need no election. We don't gotta fake it no more, man. Our technology passed that. We ain't gotta fake it with these people no more. We could let them. That's Revelation 13. He ain't gonna no more speak as no lamb. He gonna show he the dragon. You know? But let's play this video on Brighteon, because all these things leading to them coming after the prophets, man. I wanted to read this article too. This was good. We got to read this because this going right into the video. Let's read this real quick, Baba Kasha. And this gonna roll beautifully into this video. We're gonna play 16 minutes of this hour-long video. Right now, first, let's read this real quick. Now, after everything we just read, the digital system coming, Klaus Schwab said, shock events. We're in the era of shock events. All type of stuff happening. In Europe, the UK riots. Now it says, Natural News, this was put out 2 days ago. Coming to America, and it's not the movie. Coming to America, opposing illegal immigration, climate change, or the mRNA juice to be considered thought crimes punishable by prison time. We're going to read that again because these things are happening in countries outside of America. People actually getting arrested again in the UK for posting that they going to a riot or support a riot against the immigrants, and they'll put it on social media. They'll get the knock at their door. Yeah, we had seen your post on Instagram that you put up yesterday. Oh, we're going to have to take you in. It's videos out there, people getting arrested. If you got to say anything about what they're doing with these immigrants, you're going to get arrested. If you got to say anything with climate change, that it ain't real, that you don't want to go green, that you might not be with eating bugs, you might get arrested. If somebody got to say anything about the juice and how it gave people, AIDS, and also they saying that this new mpox thing, it ain't a new mpox disease. They saying that's the side effects from the juice. The point is, if you got something to say about that, you might get arrested. Well, all that's coming to America. What we seeing around the world is coming to America. The stage is being set. For who though? Who? Let's get this real quick. Who the main? Now we're gonna read the article. Who the main one Esau want? The prophets. It says coming to America, opposing. Well, we read that. Let's go down. It says in overwhelming increments, communism is being installed in America, whether you realize it or not. It's a war of attrition, and the communists are winning and winning fast. Take a good look at what's happening under similar governments around the world. Because surely the U.S. is next, and that's the thing. It's not that these things happen in these governments 5-10 years ago. It's happening now. Like yesterday, somebody got arrested for what they posted on social media in the UK. It says, because surely the USA is next, according to the commie formula, erasing democracy and Western way of life. In the UK riots, and I'm going to read this fast. In the UK, riots about illegal immigrants are becoming the norm, and the aftermath is seeing the worst crime of all, as the government arrests people who simply comment on the riots online, saying something the government doesn't like that doesn't fit the narrative that all immigrants is fantastic, legal or not. So never complain, even if and you can read that, even if the illegals, which you got American citizens who do the same thing. But if you got anything to say, guess what? You can go to jail for that. It says if you say you're thinking about protesting, you can go to jail in the UK. Don't believe it? One man just got 2 months prison time for one post about Facebook criticizing illegal Muslim immigrants that they are coming to a town near you. Thought crimes are real, not just in a movie Minority Report anymore. Get ready, USA. It's about to hit here too. You see? Man, I just had a thought that left though. Revelation 2:10. Yahweh Shai said it. That they gonna try to throw some of us in prison. Well, these might be some of the reasons that they use to fulfill that prophecy. They might say, well, look, you did this video we seen on YouTube, or you posted this. That's what Apostle Hall been told brothers about the social media and what they post on Instagram and Facebook. Now it's playing out. We seeing why he said that the benefit of listening to that advice. Because now people can get arrested on how they feel on social media. But it goes on what's happening right now in Canada. If you say anything about gender, same thing. You're gonna put in. Let's read this title. In Canada, if you criticize gender bender ideology on social media, you must do time in a concentration camp called. Now, this gonna roll beautifully into this video. Because all these people who got something to say, they getting locked away. and need to be re-educated. It says if you say anything about gender in Canada, you must do time in a concentration camp called Re-Education Training Program under Trudeau's rule. And they got it right here. Right now, I'm gonna put this article in the chat. Now let's watch this video, because what Mike gonna go into is that those things are coming. That's about to happen right here in America. So we seen the buildup, right? The system being set, going digital everywhere. Klaus Schwab said many events coming. What's going on in the UK? They throwing away people for speaking their mind. Let's watch this video. I'm gonna let it speak. We're gonna just play 16 minutes of it. I might stop it here now, but I'm gonna try to let it play. Let's get some precepts first. This is Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. And that's beautiful, because some brothers may have to suffer these events, be like those UK people, and go to jail for certain videos we may have posted, certain things we may have said on the video. But Yahushua told us, look, don't worry about that. These people gonna worry about all that. They're gonna be worrying, how they gonna pay their bond. But Yahushua said, don't worry. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. It says, and be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Now, it might be an actual 10 days, but that's just a period of time. It may be one day. It may be a couple hours. It may be more than 10 days. The point is, Yahushua said, he told us ahead of time, Esau going to try to throw some of us in prison. But he's just for a test. You know what a comfort that we was already, when Esau come, it might be, brothers might be having a spirit on them and tell Esau, I was waiting on y'all. I was wondering where y'all, I was wondering when y'all was coming. I was waiting on y'all. Right? We was told ahead of time. Apostle Peter said, thinking not strange when we go through some of these things, because we was warned, man. The average person out there, they ain't been told about the dangers that's coming. So when they be put in that situation, they will be caught off guard. Right. Let's play this video. Now, this video is from Brighteon. It's on Brighteon.com, and the page is from Chris Willard. Now, the title says, Democrats demand, and again, whether it's Democrat or Republic, what Klaus Schwab said, we don't need no election. We know what's going to happen. In other words, from the mouth of the elite, why you say from the horse's mouth, he telling you, no matter what party win, one ain't don't have to be nobody win. What we gonna do still gonna happen. Our plan still going to play. Whether it's Democrat, Republic, or no election at all, we moving forward. Really, it's the law moving forward. You see? He in straits right now. He ain't got time. But it says, the title says, Democrats, and we'll end it after this. Democrats demand mass education camps, death camps for all conservatives, Mpox, the juice AIDS and the demic. So if anybody got something to say, the same thing going on right now in the UK. And as the scriptures say, America is the daughter of the UK. Usually the children do what the parents do. So what's going over there in the UK is going to come over here to America. Let's watch this video. Let me make sure the sound on, and we'll end it after this. Okay, sound on, good. We'll put in the chat too. What's this? Okay.
Welcome to Brighteon Broadcast News for Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. I'm Mike Adams, and we're going to have some straight discussion here today about some very, very dangerous issues. So, of course, the Democrats are having their convention with nearly 100,000 protesters outside the convention. That appears to be more than the number of people inside the convention, because more people oppose the Democrats than support them. But even so, well, the Democrats subjected the nation to a series of speeches and some yelling from Joe Biden, where they demand nationwide gun confiscation. And also they promised to make abortions legal nationwide. So it's all about taking away the Second Amendment rights of the American people, and then pushing the mass murder of children, either unborn or recently born. And then on top of that, we've got a video today of some hardcore Democrats calling for mass re-education camps for all conservatives. And when they say re-education camps, they mean death camps. Of course they do. Yep. So we're going to get to all that here in just a second. And then after that, today's sermon covers 1 Timothy, kind of a short book of the Bible. The title is Correcting the Wickedness That Has Festered Inside the Church for Millennia. Whoa, what kind of wickedness in the church are you talking about? Oh, yeah, don't take my word for it. Take John the Apostle's word, because he's the one who wrote all this stuff. We're just giving it to you from the letters that John wrote, in this case to Timothy, one of his disciples. And
Well, Paul wrote the Timothy.
if John the Apostle could see what's happening in America today, his brain would explode.
And see, he don't even realize what he's saying. That's right. Well, he right, because John, he the one, as we were saying earlier, he the one that seen what? That new prophecy, the MOTB, as the other Tazapah said earlier, he was the one giving that little book. So the end of the world prophecies that this man got in his vision back then on the Isle of Patmos is playing out.
Absolute craziness. And then we might also have some time to cover monkeypox, yeah, or as they're now calling it, mpox, because the word monkey is considered offensive. Why is that offensive to call it monkeypox? Are the monkeys offended? Or does it just give a little bit too much information about what some twisted AIDS-infected perverts did to some monkeys to spread the pox? Oh, yeah, that's probably what it is. And I want you to talk about monkeypox, and as you know, of course, the K is silent. It's actually moneypox. It's all about the money. We'll get to that here in a minute. But first, let's go to this video of Joe Biden saying that women don't have electrical power. Basically, he's claiming that power grid failures are gender specific.
I'm about to speed it up real quick and get to the point.
And I wonder, what are they, like nuclear power curling irons? Don't give them any ideas. But that wasn't the only crazy thing. Is that what Joe just said, basically? Is that even to completely avoid any kind of camera identification? I suppose you can wear this around. I don't know how it looks if you're talking through it, but for just a walking around mask to completely avoid any kind of camera identification, this would do the trick. Check this out.
The point he was making, is this really Joe Biden? Which he gonna get to the point, where we going with these concentration camps and all that.
Or Kamala supporters. Oh, Kamala's a full-blown communist, as you know.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. A lot of theories about that, but we got to move on. So check out this video of some pretty hardcore Kamala supporters. Oh, Kamala's a full-blown communist, as you know. And this is what the Democrats have become. Kamala believes that the government should confiscate patents from everybody, believes that the government should set wages so that men and women's wages are equivalent, and then also the government should control the prices of groceries and food. So in essence, you will have the government set all the prices that you pay, resulting in extreme shortages, of course, and the government controlling the wages that you're paid and whether or not you can own intellectual property. This is called communism or Kamalanism. What would be the right way to say that? Communism, I don't know, some kind of aggregation of Kamala and communism. But she's a full-blown communist, and her supporters want to throw conservatives into concentration camps. So check out this.
Now, before he played this video, because now people about to get into it, what he about to play is a compilation put together of different Democrats or people with the same beliefs saying that conservatives or MAGA supporters or those who are anti-juicers need to be put in concentration camps. Now, this the thing I noticed. When you see Esau, especially like these newscasters, like it reminded me of this what the Elder Karatazar posted at the Elder in Vegas. When the news reporters say the same thing, they're given a script to push the same thing. So each person, they can push that vibration into the population is, because that's eventually what's going to happen. For example, let's look at this real quick. Because what he gonna show us that those Democrats, they constantly been pushing, saying, look, we need to put those who oppose in concentration camps, in detention centers to revamp their minds. Why? Because they gradually getting people's minds ready for that to happen. Let's play this real quick, just for an example.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
You know, we have the chief of staff for President Obama is an old friend of mine and my husband's, and was in the White House when Bill was there, and he said, you know, never waste a good crisis.
This crisis also presents an opportunity. It's a catalyst.
In its view, the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern.
That was just an example. And you know how the newscasters, how they'll say the same things, the same script, no matter if it's CNN, ABC, Fox, whatever. But going back to this video, and I'm going to just let it play now, it's going to show all these different clips of Democrats saying the same thing about concentration camps. Why? Because it's coming. This their way of gradually telling you, man.
I would love everybody who's a Republican to get down. When they say, oh, we hate America, no, we don't. We hate you. We love America. We hate you.
It's not good to hate anyone. I don't hate anyone.
Well, hey, let me ask you a question. If you were an elected official, do you think it might be a good idea to like put these Republicans, Trump supporting QAnon voters, and like
So like, hold on, I had to sped up. Let me slow it down. Oh, and two, they put it in the citizens' mind. So now the people think this way. So the people who voting for the Democrats, they like, yeah, we'll agree. Throw them away. So they gonna be easily, you know, with it.
Re-education facilities and stuff?
Yeah, re-educate them?
Yes. If you were an elected official, do you think it might be a good idea to like put these Republicans, Trump supporting QAnon voters in like re-education facilities and stuff?
Yeah, re-educate them?
Yes. I have decided we really need camps for adults. And we need the kind of camps that you all run. I mean,
but I also think some of them are believing the garbage that they are being fed 24/7 on the internet by their constituents, and they bought into this big lie. And the question is, how are we going to really almost deprogram these people who have signed up for the cult of Trump?
And the bottom line is all of America needs programming because we've all been negatively influenced by Donald Trump.
There are millions of Americans, almost all white, almost all Republicans, who somehow need to be deprogrammed. It's as if they're members of a cult.
We had programs, federal programs, that went towards funding organizations like these that de-radicalized people, and President Trump pulled the plug. One thing that we know is that we have to get that funding right back up, and we probably need to double, triple, quadruple, or increase funding for these de-radicalization programs.
And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? You know, because at some point, you know, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members.
They also believed that their immediate responsibility would be to protect against what they called the counter-revolution. And they felt that this counter-revolution could best be guarded against by creating and establishing re-education centers in the Southwest, where we would take all the people who needed to be re-educated into the new way of thinking and teach them how things were going to be. I ask, well, what is going to happen to those people that we can't re-educate, that are diehard capitalists? And the reply was that they'd have to be eliminated. And when I pursued this further, they estimated that they would have to eliminate 25 million people in these re-education centers. And when I say eliminate, I mean kill.
so
I'm jumping in right here, pausing it for a second. This is a really great compilation video from Real Alex Jones. And what you just saw there, that last segment, was from the Weather Underground. And that was filmed, I think, in the 1970s. And that group had planned a revolution to take over America. And they quite literally planned to exterminate 25 million Americans that were capitalists, that would not go along with communism. And this strategy of exterminating conservatives, throwing Trump supporters in concentration camps, which become death camps for mass extermination, this has become an increasingly popular idea among the radical left. And then we're going to...
Now, mind you, as they speak, and remember, they're using Trump supporters. And, you know, that's the role they gave Trump. You know, you got, well, Nero, you know, you got to, you know, pump the crowd up like the J6 thing, right? You know, as if he just this rebel, right? He being used for that purpose, because they gonna say these people that's following him are rebels. We need to throw them away. Man, it's crazy, man. All Esau plans is being exposed as he doing them. But I'm gonna get Daniel here in a few. It's not that they doing it for the Trump supporters. Trump supporters ain't no threat, man, to society. They ain't no threat. Esau want the prophets, the true threat. That's who he want to lock up. Let's play a little bit more.
We're going to continue with this video. What you're about to see are people saying that...
In fact, let's get some precepts real quick. I see brothers put Revelation 12 and 12. Let's hit that. And we're going to get back to that vid. We're going to wind it down in a few. Yeah, he out of there. This Revelation 12 and 12. See, Spiritual Art got it as well. 1 for 4. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice. I'm going to give verse 17 too, because this the point. This the point. As he go come after the world, it's a specific group that he won't when he do come after the world, though. Real quick, Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, and woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, and that devil is a so-called white man. And the devil has come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time to rule. So now he about to go all out. You know, when you losing, you pull out all the trick plays. He about to go all out. But this the thing. When he come after the world, this who he won't. Verse 17, Revelation 12 and 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman is Israel, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Yahushua Mashiach. So yeah, when he come after the world, he gonna come with great wrath, but it's specifically he gonna try to get some of the elect. Laws gonna be passed as if they're gonna try to stop MAGA supporters, and we about to end it, but as if they're trying to stop MAGA supporters, but it's really to stop the elect, to put the elect in, well, really to, you know, as the Apostle Rambla brought up the list, I think the red list, the green, and the blue. But shit, if brothers out there prophesying, we probably on the, the red, on site, firing squad on site. You see? But some believers, they might try to change their mind. But let's read this. Matter of fact, let's play a little bit more of the video. I'm gonna get that, Daniel, and we can end it.
Vaccines, since white people reject vaccines, that they need to use the government to an increasingly popular idea among the radical left. And I'm going to say this too. A lot of Esau beliefs as far as conservatives is somewhat biblical. The South Bible Belt somewhat got, standards and morals. So a lot of things that we believe in, we won't go for, they won't go for. So Esau using them to indirectly pinpoint us. Like they ain't gonna get no juice or the MOTB. They know we ain't trying to get no juice or the MOTB. They ain't willing to follow the government, neither are we. But let's play this real quick. And we're going to continue with this video. What you're about to see are people saying that vaccines, since white people reject vaccines, that they need to use the government to eliminate all white people and replace white people with immigrants. Don't they know some immigrants are also white? I don't know. They don't know that, but That's who they are. And then you'll see Peter Hotez, who says that the military and Homeland Security needs to get involved in forcing vaccines onto people because, of course, as we'll talk about here coming up, it's the vaccines are the death shots. In fact, we'll get into that with the monkeypox vaccines here shortly. But watch a little bit more of this video so you can fully understand what the Democrats plan and have no illusions. If they can prevent Trump from winning this election, or if the Democrats steal it and rig it, which they are planning to do, then come next year, they plan to use the government to mass exterminate conservatives and Trump supporters nationwide. They'll push gun confiscation first with some kind of big false flag shooting event. They'll see who's dumb enough to give up their guns. I don't think that's going to work, but they'll try it. And then if enough people give up their guns, then it's just going to be the U.S. government as a terrorist, a murderous organization, just carrying out executions all across the country to eliminate anybody who is a true American, anybody who loves the Constitution or the Bill of Rights or the Bible for that matter. So this is what...
Boom, in the Bible, that's where we come in at. You see? In the Bible. So we included in this.
What is coming if they can push Kamala into office. And then if enough people give up their guns, then...
And again, what Claus said, whether the election happened or not, it's still coming.
And it's just going to be the U.S. government as a terrorist, a murderous organization, just carrying out executions all across the country to eliminate anybody who is a true American, anybody who loves the Constitution or the Bill of Rights or the Bible for that matter. So this is what is coming if they can push Kamala into office. So check out the rest of this video.
So I have the solution. Every study published in the last 5 years, when you look at vaccine refusers, I'm not talking about, well, hesitants, most of them we can talk into coming to terms, but refusers. We'll just get rid of all the whites in the United States. Guess who wants to get vaccinated the most? Immigrants.
Quite honestly, you know, the health sector doesn't know what to do because this is now first and foremost a political problem. And what I've said to the Biden administration is the health sector can't solve this on its own. We're going to have to bring in Homeland Security, Commerce Department, Justice Department to help us understand how to do this. And I've said the same I met with Dr. Tedros last month in Geneva, WHO, the Director General, to say, I don't know that the World Health Organization can solve this on our own. We need the other United Nations agencies, NATO. This is a security problem because it's no longer a theoretical construct or some arcane academic exercise. 200,000 Americans died because of anti-vaccine aggression, anti-science aggression. And so this is now a lethal force and now I feel as a pediatric vaccine scientist, it's just as though it's important, just as it's important for me to make new vaccines to save lives. The other side of saving lives is countering this anti-vaccine aggression.
All right, did you catch that from Peter Hotez? He says NATO is going to need to be involved to wage a war against what he calls anti-vaccine aggression. What is aggression in his mind? Just somebody who says no to vaccines. He calls it anti-vaccine aggression because then he falsely claims that the lack of vaccines caused 200,000 people to die. 20 million people worldwide have been killed by these COVID vaccines. That's aggression. That's warfare. That's biological warfare, but Hotez, of course, does not recognize that at all because he's part of the depopulation, anti-human, globalist, warmongering medical establishment that wants to wage war against humanity by using weaponized medicine. But he says you got to involve NATO. Well, what are they going to do? Send F-16s to your doctor's office?
And I'm going to get this real quick in Daniel, just to get this account real quick. And I'm here, 2 Ezra 16. I see the brother posted. But now watch this account because this is the same thing that we're seeing now, that laws that have been prescribed, thought of, and everything being put into place right now all for the prophets, for the believers, but they're using everybody else as an excuse to bring forth these laws. And truly, it's to shut down the prophets, man. And it's happened with our forefather Daniel. This Daniel chapter 6 and verse 1. I'm going to read it through. It says, it pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, and over these presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Then the presidents and the princes sought to find, now check this out. Then the presidents and the princes, the governing body of Babylon, right? Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find none occasion nor fault. So they tried to find something as far as him breaking the law. You know, him running numerous traffic lights, him not paying taxes. But the thing was, he couldn't. He was a law-abiding citizen, as we are taught to do. So this is the thing. They can't find nothing on us today as far as we breaking the law. No, we do. We got we pay taxes. We got our license, so on and so forth. So what's the next step? What they got to do? They got to force a situation. And that's what we're seeing. What they saying, the Trump supporters, they need to be reprogrammed. We need concentration camps. Who that's really for, though? The believers, man. So since they can't find occasion against us, you know, day-to-day laws, it says, then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find none occasion nor fault. For as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. And then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. Well, they knew he was devout. You see? He was diligent in serving the Lord. The same thing Esau know today. So they're going to have to make laws concerning the work we doing to serve our power. And what they going to tell Daniel? Stop praying. What they trying to get us to do? Stop prophesying. Stop doing these lessons. Stop flooding YouTube with all this information of our secrets and our plans. So seeing they can't get us, well, he didn't, you know, them niggas pay their taxes. Let's try to affect them by the work that they doing for their power. It says, then said these men, we shall not find occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. And then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors, the princes, the counselors, and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal law. Look, this is prescribed. They already have it ready in advance. They just need to sign off on it. It says, and to make a firm decree that whomsoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. And now when you go, Daniel prayed 3 times a day. And that's what they wanted to affect, because they know Daniel, he wasn't going to stop praying to the Most High, to our power. So therefore, as we read the story, Daniel, he went on and kept praying, and they was able to throw him into the lion's den. Because what? They had a law in place. And look, check this out. Now check this out. Just to show it was for the whole land. All because of one man. Where is that? Right. It said it right here. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever, anybody in the province shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save thee, O king, shall be cast into the den of the lions. And now, mind you, this was a vast territory. It says, now, O king, establish the decree and sign a writing on righteous decrees they prescribe, that it be not changed according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which altereth not. And you go down, like I said, Daniel got caught up. He was thrown into the lion's den. But you see, they made a whole law for the whole province for who? All to catch up one man, Daniel. We seeing the same things play out today. That's why these concentration camps coming, but they're using Trump supporters and radicals, which they go throw them in too, but it's all for the prophets. Let's end it on this, because Esdras, again, he's seen it. Revelation 12 said they want the ones who got the truth. That's the ones who really can affect this society. This is 2nd Esdras 16. We're gonna start at 68 and we're gonna end it. It says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you." And who is that? That's these troops, whether it be mercenaries, the UN troops, like they said on this video, so on and so forth. Military. But Esau coming in like a flood. That's that same burning wrath in Revelation 12. It says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols." Take away people well. To these, as we read right here, Democrats demand mass education camps. It's in the scriptures. It says, "And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." Insurrection is a violent uprising. Let's finish it out. It says, "And they shall be like madmen, sparing none." They ain't gonna care which camp you in. If you say, "Well, I wasn't a prophet, I was a help," they don't care. You on the list. "Sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses." And this gonna be the point when the Lord gonna show who are his. Because as the scripture says, "Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm." Soon as Esau get too close, that's when the Most High gonna have to make divine intervention. And it always happened like that. Once it got too close to the prophets, that's when the Lord stepped in. Like Lot. Once, them in Sodom and Gomorrah got too close, the Lord had to step in. Once Esau get too close, divine intervention and miracles. Because next it says, let's read 71 again. 72. "For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. And then shall they be known who are my chosen. And they shall be tried as gold in a fire." And this is going to be the time we're going to start to see things like what we see on Supercell and the X-Men movies, and brothers getting power and angels. If brothers get thrown into these camps, look, divine intervention, miracles. Angels were sent to Peter. Or it might not even happen. You might not even make it there. The Lord might send an angel before you get there. Or when you get there, it may be that you take it to a camp so you can get power, spiritual power in there and save other people out of there. Who knows? But that's when divine intervention go come. But these things are right around the corner. They talking about the end of 2024 going into 2025. That's months away. It says, "And then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. And be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts." And you see, this is the same ones who Esau go come after. In Revelation 12 and 17, it says the ones who keep the commandments and got the testimony. Well, right here, the Lord is saying those same ones he gonna protect once Esau come after him. So it says, "And a guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves." You see, but I'm gonna end it right there. Let's see, the Elder Hawaii got a couple precepts. Let's end it on this. Yep. Romans chapter 13 and 11. It says, "And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe." And that's it. Because what else really need to be said in these times? Everything is ready. Prophecy is ready. Everything is set. We just need that event or events to take place. And then the domino effect gonna happen, man. Time gonna speed up. But it's high time to awake out of sleep. It says, "For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe." It could happen at any time. And like in that same chapter, it says the night is far spent, right? We've been in captivity way too long. It's time we go into the next phase of prophecy, man. And that's where we at. And it's an exciting time. But I'm in it right there. You know, Salaki went a little long tonight. But Lord willing, most importantly, pray that it was edifying. The water for the precepts, the water for tuning in. But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory once again unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Aki and Maldel, who pushing his word with truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And again, you know, other times of power went with us this week, but Lord willing, if we make it to Thursday, you know, we'll bounce back and continue Thursday. But hey, the water for tuning in, and with that, shalom.